Well, everybody, welcome back. It's Liz. Let's discuss some more yoga philosophy and how it relates to mindset work by the New Thought authors, all those guys in the 1900s, and all those self-help books. I'm going to be going over roughly verses 10 to 17 in the Samadhi Pada, which is book 1 of Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. The translation I'm working with is actually by Ben Giovanni. You can get lots of them free online. And I will tell you that the different translations are vastly different and very annoying. Like the one I have for my yoga class, I really don't like it. It's all too heart-based and really, it just seems like so much gobbledygook to me. I need it straighter up. Anyway, I'm not an expert on the sutras. I am a fellow student, and I just want to give you my initial impressions. And it's just so interesting to me how ancient philosophy, thousands of years old, is also describing the kind of help I like to teach and the kind of help that the New Thought authors hit on. I do think a lot of them, like there's a long lineage of Abdullah teaching Neville Goddard, et cetera, et cetera. And who knows where they got their knowledge and didn't say anything. Now, this one fellow, Anthony Norvell, who wrote in the 70s, he talks about going to the East and getting some mystical knowledge. It may be entirely BS, and he may have really done it, but there is some influence from the East, it seems, stated or unstated in their work. Anyway, let's get to it. So I'm going to read this. We're just about to get into some good stuff here. Verse 10 says, deep sleep is the modification of the mind, which has for its substratum nothingness. Okay, so I do think when you sleep well, which I do not, when you sleep well, it is a way to do a reset. Your subconscious is free from the meddlings of the conscious mind. It gets to process and heal. And that's why I think you do have a lot of process dreams and stuff like that. But I don't have much more to say about verse 10 there. Verse 11 says, this is great. Memory is not allowing mental impressions to escape. Memory is not allowing mental impressions to escape. This is fascinating because what a way to look at memory. Like when you have, let's say you have a really unhappy memory that you go over and over and over again, you make these mental grooves, like an album grooves in your brain or wherever memories land, right? So they're entrenching and building up these neural structures, getting them bigger, thicker, like, the muscles that work out together, bond together and grow. It's like you get more neurons, more bad memories, and then more bad memories come. You're not allowing these mental impressions to escape. I teach revisionist history sometimes. I feel like it's super important if people want to revise their history. I mean, our memory is crappy anyway. Come on, admit it. Two witnesses of a crime can't even say the same thing. So I say you may as well revise it to something you like that serves you. And I'm not talking like living through rose-colored glasses. I'm saying you may as well revise the history. You are anyway. You don't have accurate memory. So it's really nice to allow the negative, at least the negative ones, to escape. I like calling it higher faculties, where you use your memory, use the good memories. Not the shitty thing that your spouse did, but the good thing, your wedding day, making great love, or whatever we're doing. Get to that good stuff instead of sitting around with the stinking bad stuff. I love that line. Memory is not allowing mental impressions to escape. Verse 12 says, these thought streams are controlled by practice and non-attachment. So the practice, I will tell you, a human being, a great person, is not made by doing things occasionally. It's by your daily practice, like I've said before. What are you doing every day? The workout, the clean eating, being nice to somebody, being nice to yourself, trying to expand and grow. Even if you decide to be service to self, be the best, most selfish service to self you can be. If you want to have service to others, be the finest service to others person you can be. But that process, which is a little balance of stoicism and yogic philosophy, maybe some new thought, mental diet stuff, can really set you on your way to understand, like, why not bad things happen? I process them and handle them well anyway. I'm just going to move through it. But the daily practice of whatever it is, if it's affirmations, if it's mental visualization, again, the workout, the eating, the sleeping. But I do think there's a metaphysical aspect to this where we work on our mental diet. It's super important. If you're thinking stinky thoughts all day, you're going to have a stinky life. So that daily practice of becoming is what makes you the great I am. It's not, trying to handstand. That's what I used to do. Try a handstand once a month and not being successful. Now I'm working at it every day. All right. And then the non-attachment. Now I talk about it this way. What is non-attachment? It's not like you don't care. You just get up willy-nilly and you just sit around and not care about your life. I don't think. I look at it like having a goal, but having a gentle desire toward it, an ardent desire, but not having to have it. It's wanting something, but not having to have it. So a lot of people like to talk about manifesting specific people. I'm not so into that. I think it's great to let spirit decide or let two people decide. But in any case, whether you want the yacht, the money, the girl, the guy, it's wanting it, but not having to have it. The having to have it sets your subconscious such that it goes, oh, he, she, they want to want it and not have it. So you continue wanting and not having if you have too much of attachment. So an ardent desire to achieve a good business, the yacht, the thing, the house, the whatever is great. And moving toward that through inspired actions and things you need to do every day, but not having that desperate attachment. Verse 13 says, practice is the effort to secure steadiness. Practice is the effort to secure steadiness. Exactly what I was just saying. It's the daily practice that makes you who you are, not the occasional non-committed thing. It's the daily practice. It's that character. It's who you are when no one's looking. I'm thinking of those marathon runners, like my friend Pietra, who's got up at 5 a.m. to run in Boston in the cold to practice for the Boston Marathon. No one knew that she was getting up. I was asleep in my bed. I didn't care. But she was up doing it because it was important to her. And she's a marathoner. I am not. I joke that I don't go all the way. I just do halves and tens. All right. Verse 14 says, this practice becomes well grounded when continued with reverent devotion and without interruption over a long period of time. The same thing. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. I talk to my clients who haven't achieved particular goals yet. Like I say, what are you going to do? Give up and stop and go backwards? No, it hasn't manifested yet. Keep going, keep going, keep going. You may not be a 10 millionaire in a year. You might be a 7, 8, 9 figure earner in a year. It may take 10 years. It may take 2 years. It may take 5 years. Just keep at it. And verse 15 says, desirelessness towards the seen and unseen gives the consciousness of mastery. Okay. So again, it's going back to that non-attachment of the not having to have, but also what it says to me is whether you're looking outward, as I said before, at your 5 senses and looking at the bank account, the girl, the guy, what he said, she said, what happened with the thing, the boss, the commander, or even looking inside at your own shitty thinking. Understand none of that is real, and you can recraft your day and you can recraft a blissful day every day. It's all bullshit at some level. So you don't have to look at the outside, but also understand the inside can also use recrafting if you're having a crappy thinking kind of day. Right. Verse 16 says, this is signified by an indifference to the 3 attributes due to knowledge of the indweller. And I believe that refers to verse 7, which says right knowledge is inference, tradition, and genuine cognition. So I think that it's a threefold path according to the writers who were called Patanjali. Where you look at tradition, like traditional philosophies, like the yogic tradition, and you look at your own intuition and psychic sense, or your own intuitive guidance. I call it inspired action. And you use your brain, you use your reasoning sense, your faculties really, really well. I mean, a lot of us do that. For a lot of us, that's all we do. And we don't even believe in the non-physical, metaphysical side of things. So it's those 3 things. So verse 17 says, cognitive meditation is accompanied by the reasoning, discrimination, bliss, and the sense of I am. I want to end with this one. Cognitive meditation is accompanied by reasoning, discrimination, bliss, and the sense of I am. What this says to me is, obviously, when some people like to meditate, some don't, but when you are meditating or sitting in some sort of quiet imagining of the end state, like Neville Goddard would say, you want to use your reason, like I just said, use your reasoning faculty, use your judgment, your discrimination your faculties, right? And you want to get yourself, I say it's everyone's responsibility to be as cheerful as possible. Maybe we can't get there every day, but you can choose cheerful, which I've always said. You can have a crappy day or a blissful day, but you can choose to respond well to it. And then, frankly, you move to the sense where you understand that you are an aspect of the divine, the I am. Some would say that you are God. Some would say that you're a Psalm 82, small g God, but in any case, you're an aspect of the divine. How I like to describe it is, those beautiful stained glass windows in churches, Like if source is shining all this beautiful light out, you are responsible for your piece of stained glass. Or you could look at like an 8.5 billion faceted diamond where you have one facet and it's your job, your duty in this life to polish it as you see fit, right? And so it's your facet, you got to deal with it. And that's the part of the I am that's you, an aspect of the divine. So what I get from these couple of verses is do the process, use your discriminating mind, use your cognition, use all of you to the best faculty. And it's the process, it's the daily practice that makes you who you are. And this is how you can control that crazy monkey mind, those crazy thought streams. Anyway, that's enough for today. I just wanted to say hi and happy Monday.